Hi, this video is to show you how to make the cluster stitch that I'm using in my Tridacna cowls and necklace. So on the previous round, when I made my purl stitches, I wrapped the yarn 3 times around the needle as I made them. And I'm just going to show you an example, but this is not really where it belongs. So there's a purl stitch. And when I purled it, 1, 2, 3 times around. And that's what gives me the extra wraps that you'll see in the next few stitches. Since I'm on the following row, I don't really want that there, but I'll purl this single stitch that is supposed to be here. When I do the cluster stitch, I'm going to start with the yarn in back. Now these next 5 stitches have extra wraps in them, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's a single purl after that. So I'm going to, with the yarn in back, slip the stitches from the left needle to the right, purlwise, and drop the extra wraps as I go. 2, 3, let's scoot these guys up, 4, 5, and I can see I've come to the end of my triple wrap stitches because there's a single there. Here are my 5 stitches that I've dropped the extra wraps. I bring the yarn between the 2 needles, and then I slip those 5 stitches to the left needle, and then I can put this yarn in back between the needles, and I slip the stitches back to the right needle. I bring the yarn back to the front, slip the stitches to the left needle, and then yarn to the back again. And you can see I've wrapped those 5 stitches twice. See my 2 strands here? And then I slip these back to the right needle, and my cluster is ready to be worked on the next round. I bring the yarn to the front so I can purl this stitch. Yarn to the back so I can slip these 5, dropping the extra wraps. You just scoot these up. You want a needle that is pretty smooth between the cable and the fat part of the needle so that your yarn overs will slide up easily. Okay, yarn's in the back, slip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The yarn is coming around in between the 2 needles, and then the stitches get slipped to the left needle so I can put the yarn to the back between the needles. Back to the right needle, yarn to the front, slip the stitches to the left needle, yarn to the back. Whoops, don't go away. Now my stitches have been wrapped twice. Stitches back to the right needle, yarn to the front so I can purl this lone stitch, yarn to the back so we have 5 more to slip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The yarn comes to the front, the stitches get slipped to the left needle, the yarn goes to the back, stitches to the right needle, yarn to the front, stitches to the left needle, yarn to the back, stitches to the right needle. I'm on the next half of this little magic loop here. So I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to pull my magic loop up so I can work here. Get this little stray piece of yarn out of the way. Oops, there we go. Okay, my first stitch is a single purl. On this next round, I'm going to purl each of these 5 stitches so that I'll get a purl bump that matches the one at the bottom. So I am purling all the stitches here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's the stitch between. And here are 5. And sometimes they get out of order, but I don't think it matters too much because that center is just clustered together, so it's really hard to tell if you got it a little bit out of order, but try to keep them in order. So when you look at these, get a little tug. Now I have purl bumps on bottom and top, and that's how we make our cluster stitch, which ends up being part of our clam stitch, or you could also call it a flower stitch. We finished knitting, purling, this half around, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you slide this past your needle. The needle makes it look like it's straight on top, but it's not. It's going to be definitely a little bit wavy, which is what we're looking for. Okay, bring that down. There we go. I'm going to tug everybody a little bit to get them where they belong. And there are our little clam shells, or flowers, depending on what you want to call them. I hope that helps you.